Search results are organized into categories which are shown with the help of tabs. There are 4 tabs: All Records, National Records, Reference Records, and SCBD Records. The numbers show the total number of records associated with each tab. We can see that there are over 17,000 records in total that have been published and are available in the BCH. Out of those 17,000 records, over 9,500 are national records, over 6,500 are reference records, and over 1,000 are SCBD records. SCBD records are not submitted and published through the BCH. They are imported from other CBD websites, and they show notifications, press releases, statements, and other information. The numbers change once you start applying filters. For example, let's select a region. As you can see, the numbers have changed. They correspond to the filter that I have selected. By default, records are displayed in list format in the All Records tab, in the Reference Records tab, and the SCBD Records tab. The exception concerns national records. In the National Records tab, records are grouped by government. There you go. And then within each government record, the records are further grouped by record type. That is the default view. However, you can change the display of records in tabs by selecting options that are available in this drop-down list. As you can see, the default view is selected by default. Click on the drop-down arrow and you will see other options: List, Group, and Matrix. In this video, we will explain the list and the group options. For information and to learn more about the matrix view, please watch a separate video. Let's select the list option and see what happens. As you can see, the display of records in the National Records tab has changed, and now the records are displayed in the list format, the same way as in All Records and in Reference Records. Now let's explore the grouping option. Click on the Group option and this pop-up box appears that shows you the default settings which you can change. For example, let's deselect government and let's leave record type and group our records by record type. I will then click on Apply, and as you can see, now the records in the National Records tab are grouped by record type, and so on and so forth. Please note that when you choose an option from the drop-down list, this option applies to all tabs. So the records are grouped by record type not only in the National Records tab, but also in other tabs. So let's click on All Records and you will see that the display has changed as well, and that records in this tab are also categorized and shown by record type. If you click on the Reference Records tab, you will see the same thing. Records are grouped by record type. Now let's change the grouping again. We advise you, if you are going to change groupings often, first select the default view to refresh the system and then use the group option. So let's click on the group option. Again, you see the default settings, and let's group records by record type and then government. So in this case, I will first deselect these two options, then I will select record type, then government, and you see the pop-up box show me the order, so grouped by record type, then by government. I will click on Apply, and now you see that the records in the National Records type are grouped first by record type, and then within this record type, they are grouped by government. So let's scroll down. This is another record type, and here's the governments within, and so on and so forth. This grouping option, again, applied to all tabs. So if we click on all records, we will see the same type of display by record type and then by government. Let's click on the reference records. The reference records are still grouped by record type only. This is because reference records are not associated with governments. To go back to the default view, simply click on the default view option. When you use filters to perform your search, display of results functions the same way. For example, let's do a simple search. I'm going to select decisions as a record type and then certain types of decisions from the subfilter. As you can see, the display of results is also categorized into tabs: all records, national records, reference records, and SCBD records, the same tabs. The numbers show the total number of records that are associated with the filters that I have used and respective of each tab. There are no reference records because decisions are national records, and of course there are no SCBD records. In all records tab, the records are displayed by default in the form of a list. In the national records tab, they are grouped by government and then within government by the record type. In this case, we only have one record type, decisions. You can change the display in tabs by using the same options from this drop-down list. And when you apply these options, they apply to all tabs. So let's click on list, and now you see that national records are displayed in the form of a list, the same as all records. Let's click on group, and let's group our records by record type only. And you can see that the display in the all records tab have changed, and as well as in the national records tab. Records are grouped by the record type, in this case decisions. This is the only record type that we have selected. And to go back to the default view, simply click on default view. Thank you.